I tried to make the cutoff more natural, and it just it did not work very well. Hey! It is time for a long and crazy journey. Give me just a second. There we are. So, the plan for today is, if I go to Dream Wardrobe, it lets me equip the Salt Rock Mask from the, what is the area called? Himalayan Salt Shore? Something like that? Don't remember the name exactly offhand. My plan is to take that mask and bring it all the way to the depths, because in a recent update, they made it so that you could do that. Now, I'm not the first person to do this. I don't remember their name offhand, but there was a Japanese streamer who did this, I think a few months ago at this point. But I think it's really funny, so I want to try it myself. I have no idea how long this will take. Yuga said it would take like 20 or so minutes, like 20 to 30. I don't believe that, but I guess we'll see. Actually, wait, one moment. Let me hide for a second. Let me pop the stream link into the Tuki Discord to see if people want to hop in. Give me just a moment. Alright, that should be good. Ah, recursion. Alright. Part of the challenge as well is that today has been a very lazy day for me, and I have not eaten yet. So part of the fun with today is that part of the motivation of making it to depths is that once I'm done with the stream, I can go and get lunch. If you can even call it lunch at that point. I don't know the time at which it stops being lunch and it starts being dinner. This area is so nice. It's a shame that this is always a through line to deeper, watery worlds, because this is a really pretty area. So yeah, I think the main thing I want to talk about today is the future, potentially. My current plan right now is I want to try, this semester, I want to try and branch out a little bit more. I want to try and do more live streams. I want to try and do edited videos. Once I get around to doing that edited video, I'll get to it eventually, I swear. I just want to do more things. More things with the channel, more things with the community, you know. I have a million random ideas that I might potentially want to work with, but again, it's all about interest. This area takes so much longer with the salt mask. It's also still blazing hot in here. I gotta start leaving my door open or something. Because I was kind of hoping I would get a good night's sleep tonight, or last night. Instead, I got the worst sleep I think I've ever had in my life. Because I made the mistake of downing an entire thing of green tea before trying to go to bed. Oops. that was entirely my bad, and so I was up until like 3 a.m. full of energy, but also lacking the willpower to actually do anything. I never would have thought there'd be a situation where being in the boat would be faster than actually walking around normally. But a combination of the fact that this room is like freaking 70 degrees for no reason, and the fact that I downed an entire thing of caffeinated drink before trying to go to bed, I did not have a good night's sleep. But it's also 2 p.m. and I woke up at like 9 a.m., so I'm much more awake than I was, I'll say that much. Oh wait. I have my phone off to the side as like a ways that I can see chat at a glance. And it keeps buzzing here and there from the, what was my... what did I refer to them as? The schmuck schools when it came to grad school. Because there are some schools that are just... It's not quite that they're not worth going to, because there are reasons why you would want to go there. But... Hey! I never bothered to unsubscribe from their feeds, so I constantly get random... I get random spam from, like, SMU Guildhall. And, like, Duke at Pequot, and, like, tons of low-tier schools. Alright. Glad you could drop by, at least. I'm probably going to be here for the next, 20 or 30 minutes. I don't know how long this trip is going to take. I'm already at Abandoned Factory, so wishful thinking, it doesn't take that long, but once we get to Cosmic World, it might cause problems. Because I was thinking about it, and I am the same color as one of the, like, tile colors for Cosmic World, so once we get there, I'm not going to be able to see a damn thing. Not even considering that, you know, it's huge, and it's huge, and there's a weird sort of roundabout way that you have to get to Square Ruins. But I doubt it'll take that long. Let me go ahead and pull up the wiki page for depths just to make sure that I'm going the right way, because there are two paths that fork off from here that both go super deep. Okay, so right now I'm in Forest Pier, Abandoned Factory, Arctopillar. Okay. That should be door number 1, if I recall correctly. The salt advances. But now that I have a boilerplate school that I can go to for grad school, that's just like baseline. If I don't get it anywhere else, I can go there. Anywhere that's less desirable than that school is just getting tossed out immediately. It's like, with all due respect, thank you for putting me on your mail list. No. I have better things to do. And so many of those schools are they're so skeevy, too. There's so many, like, little things that they try and do to entice you. Sending 4 different emails saying, like, the application deadline is drawing close, and then the application deadline rolls around and I get another email that says, oh, the application date has been extended just for you, wink wink. It's good for you. You're getting people to go to your grad school. Hmm. It's been so long. I don't even remember where Polluted Swamp leads. Shoot. We're advancing slowly but surely. But I think my plan for the future is going to be I want to try and establish a more consistent stream schedule. Kind of just to see how it feels, to see if it feels like a bit too much. My working plan right now, where do I go from here? It's Deserted Pier, right? I think that's the left path. The working plan right now is to have streams on Thursdays and Saturdays, because those are the days where I know I've got basically nothing. Oh, right, there is no left path. It's Mansion. But Thursday and Saturday are the days where I am fairly confident that I have almost nothing, and maybe that changes. I think I go up the stairs and talk to the weirdo, because the weirdo takes you to Deserted Pier. But right now, all I got is that Thursday I got one symbolic logic class, and Saturday is a weekend. So those seem like the 2 days where, if I were to do something consistently, it would be then. And it would also be a nice excuse for me to get back on the grind for the larger projects, like the PopCap stuff. I'm slowly working my way through Zuma's Revenge, but god, there are a lot of these games. And I feel it would be a lot more fun if I had people to share in the suffering. It's like Yick. It's a lot more fun. I feel like it'd be a lot more fun if I had people to talk with while everything was going down. Tomb of Velity's Lunar Sanctuary with Salt Rock Mask. Oh no. That's kind of tempting. What do you mean it's faster than Spacesuit? Wait, Spacesuit is even slower than this? It's hard to describe, but it's so much harder to find my way around here since I'm going this slow. No. I'll have to see what's faster. And if spacesuit is indeed slower, I'll have to do something similar and go walk a mile in a spacesuit. Okay, I think this is deserted town, I believe. There should be a door up here. Alright, see ya. Yeah, take care. Oh, it's the same. I see. Excuse me. This is making me tired. It's similar kind of beat as I'm going the wrong way. Similar kind of beat as it's like going on a long road trip. You don't have to pay close attention to the road, but you do have to pay attention to the road. So that, you don't crash into anything. So you just sit there bored and maybe you put on some music. It is kind of hilarious how the boat is significantly faster. Urisuki is slower than normal. Interesting. Actually, didn't know that. I wonder if that's a carryover from Yumaniki. Also, something that I may or may not have planned is, I think I mentioned before, one of the classes that I'm taking this semester is computer organization, which is stuff like logic gates and how you can go all the way from a like basic transistor in a computer all the way up to a processor, just like how computers work from bottom to top. And that mechanical knowledge gives me the power to do some very silly things. Like potentially making a computer and potentially making a computer in Minecraft or something like that. Or Super Fighters or whatever other. I want to try and do that again, where I just take some arbitrary game that is a map editor and make a computer out of it. Because like the fact that that worked for Super Fighters was a freaking miracle, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it for sure. That was really cool, but oh god, I never want to do that again. At least not that meticulous. I want, if I'm doing that again, I want ways to speed up the process in some way. But I guess we'll see. Anything I do, I don't think it's gonna top the cardboard computer. Because there is this awesome article. It's like a scholarly research article. I imagine it's like some grad students did it for their thesis. And it was how to use Magic the Gathering cards and just like the way that that game operates to create a computer. Because when you really think about it, the computer is just... It has a few basic components that become more and more complex and eventually become our modern conception of what a computer is. So if you can fill out those basic components, you could theoretically extend it as far as you want it to. And that's what they did. They created a tape, prevented their opponent from doing anything other than playing one specific card. And whenever that card was played, it would change the next card that the opponent was allowed to play. So it would force them to play one card per turn, and it would also force them to play specific cards. And in this way, it would essentially force the opponent to play out processor instructions. Or, not processor instructions, instructions on a tape. And this tape can be as long or as short as you want. It all just depends on how it's set up. And with that definition, they created a computer. It's completely ridiculous. In a very fun way. And that seems to be the kind of the theme for high-level CS, is that so much of it is... we did this dumb thing to prove that we could. It's like philosophy in that way, where it's like, well, we could do this the normal way, the way that everyone wants or usually does or expects, but we're gonna do something else. Because we think it's funny, and maybe it'll prove something, maybe not. And the thing that kind of gets me is that I could see a way that transistors could be, or that redstone comparators, for example, could be used to simulate computer operations if you do it right. Like, there is a logic to it. I just like thinking from there, okay, what else serves that same function? Because all you need is an electrical system, or just a system of some medium flowing through some other medium. And from there, it's like, how do you best describe this? You have a medium flowing through another medium, and you have to have some way so that when, like with water through a tube, you have to make some way so that when water is flowing through a certain part of that tube, it will restrict flow in another part of the tube. Once you have that, you can construct a computer, because that's what a transistor is, and a transistor is the building block of all computers. So if you have some way to make like a T-junction, almost, I forget whether you go left or right for this. If you have a T-junction of sorts, that when the fluid is sent through the medium channel, the center channel, it stops things flowing from the left out the right. That's good enough. And it could be marbles, it could be water, it could be electricity, it could be redstone. It could be basically anything. Oh, I see. It's all the way back here. That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario. This is quite a stretch from that quote, but recently I watched Brazil by Terry Gilliam, and it's fun. It's really something special. It is. The best way to describe it is what if Terry Gilliam wrote 1984? And I know, haha, 1984, the book that everyone quotes but no one's read. But genuinely, it is very, very close to the plot of 1984. Because I actually have read it. And that book is extremely depressing. But it's basically what if 1984 was written by Terry Gilliam. And Terry Gilliam, for those who don't know, is one of the minds behind Monty Python. Yeah, Transmission Tower World. And it's great. Apparently quite literally, the working title for the movie was 1984 and a half. But if you might know, 1984's plot is mainly around like government surveillance and an overbearing authoritarian government. In the case of Brazil, instead, it's all about bureaucracy. Bureaucracy in the weirdest possible ways. Like, for example, the movie opens with, it's just like a family celebrating Christmas. They're in the middle of opening up presents, and then a SWAT team busts through their door, puts like the man of the house in a straitjacket, and then one of them calmly walks up to the wife, who is in hysterics, and like very quietly pushes a pad of paper and a pen in her face and says like, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry, but I need you to fill out this form. I need you to initial here." It's all completely ridiculous in the best possible way. I recommend watching it. It's got oh, what is I always forget his name. It's got Bob Hoskins, who, funnily enough, Bob Hoskins in that movie plays a, how to describe it without giving too much away. He plays a freelance plumber, and like I said, the country is run by a super authoritarian bureaucracy. I don't know how that sentence even makes sense, but it does in Brazil. And he just does this for fun. He doesn't do it for pay, he doesn't fill out any forms, he does HVAC work just because he feels like it. No, Bob Hoskins is not that guy. There's another guy that does it. Bob Hoskins ends up showing up to the main character's door with his co-worker. And the two of them look like Mario and Luigi. They just show up with wrenches in overalls. Like, hey, where's the problem? How's it going, man? Little dude. He shows up in overall. They both show up in overalls and like, hey, where's the problem? We got a notification that you needed help. And like I said, they look like Mario and Luigi. And if you know anything about Bob Hoskins, he played Mario in the Super Mario Brothers movie. The best part about all of that is that the movie came out in 1985. So like a solid at least 5 years before the Super Mario Brothers movie came out. Before Super Mario, the NES game, even came out. So it was just complete freak coincidence, but it is a very funny coincidence. If you've never read anything about the Super Mario Brothers movie, by the way, do yourself a favor and look it up, because it is some of the most ridiculous stuff I have ever read on Wikipedia, and that is saying a lot. Because to those of you who've somehow never heard the story of the 90s Super Mario Brothers movie, I guess I do have to say that now, because now there's the Illumination one too. And the Illumination one I've heard is actually, like, a pretty good movie. I was super skeptical about it because it's Illumination, and Illumination has kind of a track record for making very, like, nothing burger movies, basically. Like, movies that don't really have much substance, they don't really add much to any given conversation. It's just like, yeah, it's a movie to watch with your kids. And it's kind of unfortunate because I happen to think that Despicable Me is actually a pretty damn good movie. And it's one of the few movies that Illumination has done that isn't really like that. So I don't know if the Mario movie is quite on par with Despicable Me. I think it might be. But I haven't seen the Mario Brothers movie, so I can't really say. But back to the 90s one. I recommend either looking up the Wikipedia article, or there is a great YouTube video. There's this YouTube series called What Happened that's just a bunch of stories of failed games, failed movies, just like games and movies that had troubled production. It's very good, very, very like high effort content. But to recount some of the things that I remember, that was back in the day when not only was that was back in the day when Nintendo was a bit more willing to try random garbage with their IPs to see what would happen. It was also back in the day before people really associated the video game movie with a box office bomb. Because there was this sort of curse in the 90s into the 2000s where just back to back there were like 3 or 4 big video game movies that all came out around like a few years span, and they all sucked, every single one of them. And the Super Mario Brothers movie was chief among them. Another one that came out around that time that was also similar, not lambasted quite as much, but still kind of lambasted for being a mediocre product, is Street Fighter the movie, which is also worth looking into because it's hilarious. Okay, thank God. I was worried for a second that I wouldn't transform back. Alright. Okay, so I don't fully blend in with the environment, but still, you know, this is still Cosmic Worlds, so I might get lost. So the salt is from... Trying to remember how you get there. It is Red Streetlight World to Hot Air Balloon World to Himalayan... There's a new area, or newer, I guess, called Himalayan Salt Shoal, and that's where this mask is from. And they also, funnily enough, they added a new sub-area. They added a new sub-area to the Dream Apartment, where if you walk up to the wardrobe, you can go inside and put on a couple of the masks that you find littered around the world, including all of the portal masks from the parking garage and the salt mask, thankfully. So I didn't have to walk all the way to the sub area of Salt Shoal and back to do this. But it is unbelievably slow. I think it's as slow as Spacesuit, but I could be wrong in that. People in chat were saying that it was about the same speed. Good God. If the tile plays an animation, it's an event. If it doesn't, it's in the tile set. Considering this world, how many events are there in this map? There's probably a ton, right? Yeah, recently, like around this year or so, there was just an explosion of really, really good 2P content, so I highly recommend checking it out. There's just a bunch of awesome stuff that all got added around the same time. Okay. I've hit a dead end. Now, where the heck is this dead end? I think it's right here. Oh yeah, I'm very far off the path. Hang on. This is the hardest part for sure, because depths I think it's 90% teleports. So it shouldn't be that different from having bike equipped. But I gotta get through this first. One, two, three. Hang on, let me backtrack a little bit so that I see something familiar, because it's... With so many maps, I can just look for landmarks that I've seen before so that I know where I am. I got nothing here. It's all... everything looks identical. Okay. There should be a cube on my right? Yeah, there you are. Not on my right, but it is up here. Ah, okay, that's why I was getting confused, because there's a cube over on this side. I forgot there were NPCs here. But to talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie a little bit... OBS, please? Please? Okay, thank God. I just got a window pop up. OBS has disconnected, reconnecting. I hope that didn't screw with the stream at all. It looks like it's still working. That's something else that's kind of ridiculous about. That's something else that's kind of ridiculous about RPG Maker. It's easy to forget. Everything in this game is based on a tile set. So anything that's larger than a tile is like there's some special, more difficult way that they have to construct it. Like that the giant fish from that one world, I don't remember it offhand. But I'm going to assume that that giant fish is just a collection of tiles, all arranged in a gigantic tile set. I don't even want to imagine how much work it is for stuff like Sniper Bob's Horror Maze and crazy stuff like that. Eventually I do want to make worlds for this game, but, I mean, it is a commitment. Because, for starters, I would have to learn RPG Maker, and RPG Maker is a eldritch deity of a software to learn. Especially older versions. There's a lot of creature comforts that are in the newer versions that are just completely lacking here. But I've heard from the down the grapevine, because I'm in the Collective Unconscious Discord. I've seen stuff in passing that's like macros and things that you can install that make life way easier. But I don't know how much that helps. I just got buzzed on Discord about freaking the Apollo Justice trilogy. I'm very excited about that. Because I went out of my way to play... Okay, good, it's not this one. I went out of my way to play Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney Apollo Justice on mobile. And then Dual Destinies thereafter. I still haven't played Spirit of Justice, I'll get to it eventually, but... They recently released another trilogy collection, because they released the Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright trilogy collection a while ago. And that was the first 3 games, so Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright, what are they called? It's been a while since I played, actually. Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations. And now, this next set has Ace Attorney Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice. And this is awesome, because, as it turns out, all 3 of those games had been locked in DS jail for the longest time. In fact, I seem to remember that Dual Destinies was eShop exclusive or something like that. Like, it was extra special locked behind DS. It was freaking 3DSware. And Spirit of Justice, I think, got a actual cart release. But a lot of people are going to get to experience Ace Attorney 5 and 6 for the first time, which has me very excited. Everyone will get to see in full glory how great of a game Ace Attorney 5 is, and also how bad the names are for Spirit of Justice. Because I've heard Spirit of Justice is a really good game, but I've also heard that it's kind of a bad translation job, because the gimmick with Spirit of Justice is that it all takes place in a foreign country. So all of the names are, well, they're written out in Japanese to be really weird and like out of the common writing, basically. Like, they're still readable, but it just like feels a little odd to read their names aloud. So what did they do? Well, for the American release, they put in some of the worst pun names I have ever seen. Like, there are pretty, like, there are groaners in the original trilogy, but oh my god. Spirit of Justice has some really bad ones. To the point that it's, like, distracting. I'm fine with campy, campy pun names, but Spirit of Justice takes it to the extreme. And a lot of people are going to get to experience that for the first time, too. But more than anything, I feel like it should be the release of the remastered trilogy should be a call to action for people to advocate for more games that are centered more around Apollo Justice and Athena Sykes. Because they are both awesome. I love Phoenix Wright as a character. He's a goofball in the best possible way, but... Hang on, I'm trying to... I have to, like, pause for a second and parse where the heck I'm going. It should be down here. Because, to be perfectly frank, Apollo Justice may as well be a Phoenix Wright game, and Dual Destinies is only barely not a Phoenix Wright. Only barely not just Phoenix Wright. Is this right? Yes, this is right. Because right now I'm here. I have to go over here. This isn't too bad. This is just... I'm just doing the same thing that I normally would do. Except now I'm also a Salt Rock. Okay. That basically does it. And this one leads... Where does this one even lead? Up here... Okay. Oh, right, the hospital secret tile. I always assumed that tile, you had to press it in order to get the chainsaw effect, but you don't. You can just go ahead and go through the motions without even touching it, and it'll work. Okay. And here we are. Almost an hour exactly, yeah? Yeah, damn. And I lost a lot of time to just not really knowing the route offhand. But, I mean, that was definitely longer than 20 minutes, that's for sure. Good grief. I had fun with that. But like I said, plan for the future is that I'm thinking Thursdays and Saturdays I'm gonna be streaming and seeing whatever. They actually fixed it, because I think it was either this cutscene or maybe there was some other cutscene that this used to remove your mask and it actually doesn't anymore. Come on, moment of truth. Yep. It feels kind of weird. It feels a little weird to have it just like up to its waist. I don't think that was my phone. Yeah. It is kind of funny that it's the sprite for the salt cube, it's only up to Ursuki's waist. But we're on the ocean floor right now, so by all accounts I should just be completely blue. But hell yeah. That took an hour almost on the dot. I'm probably gonna stop, because there's not really much else pressing that I want to do. And there's a daily to Flower Scent World, I don't even know where this is. Okay. I'll end by going there, I guess. Because that is a super quick trip. Oh. I'll do this, oops, okay, there we go. I'll do this, and then I'll go back to the Dream Wardrobe, turn back into Salt, and then I'll join that other person who's a Salt Rock in the Nexus. And that will be it. God, right, this world. This world is, well, it certainly is something. Well, I hope they stay in the Nexus. I'm almost there. I was about to stop actually. I'm gonna go take this. I'm gonna go take this funny little guy to the Nexus, and then I'm gonna go and get food. Because like I said, I haven't had lunch yet. And it's like 3 p.m. So not quite lunch at that point. But I'm probably just going to be idling in the Nexus from here. And who knows, maybe if people are interested, I will do more rock salt tours to wherever else. As long as I can actually get to that location with a mask on, I'm fine with going basically wherever. Because there are some places that are just completely impossible. Like I know for a fact that Voxel Island's impossible. Because as it turns out, mask storage has not been in the game for a while and will never be in the game again. So anything that requires me to use an effect is out of the question, unless there's some workaround. I might do a rock salt tour. It'll have to work. I'll have to announce it to do maybe like next Thursday or something, because I want people to hear about it, because it would be really funny to go with a big group of people that are all rock salt and go all the way down to Tomb of Valides or something. It would take ages, but it would be worth it, because it would be funny. But that's all. I think that's everything. I did the daily, I did what I set out to do. I'm probably just gonna chill here, so if you're on YNO, feel free to join me. But yeah, I'm gonna go get food. Have a nice day, y'all. I'll see y'all next time.